Sorry, Tera.
just in case anybody else wants to watch. So we're glad to have you guys here tonight, some on camera and some not, and that is totally fine. I get it. But I do want to start with a check-in. So I'm gonna invite you to um, either type it in the comments if you're not on camera, or I'll call on you and you can say it. But we're gonna do two feeling words and tell me where you live. So I'll start and I'm going to say, I feel excited and content. And those are two very different words. I am from Utah. So I live in Salt Lake Valley, about 25 minutes south of Salt Lake in the suburbs. So um, with that, I'm in. We say I'm in. That means I'm here and I'm present. So Marianne, do you want to go next? Rover.
Yeah. I feel relaxed, um, and I have a little bit of excitement too. So, or anticipation, for, um, yeah, just doing some projects that I'm excited about. And I live in Utah as well, but I am an hour north of where Tara lives, and I'm in.
Thank you. Okay, Stella.
I'm well, I live in Canada, in Mississauga, uh, close to Toronto. Um, I I have hope, a big hope, but in this moment, I feel frustration. Uh, and I'm in.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay, how about the other two? Marianne, do you want to say? Do you want to pop your video or your microphone and tell us two feeling words and where you're from?
Oh, she's in the chat.
Yeah. Oh, perfect. Oh, Brent. Okay, lots of kids. I get that. Okay. And what about you, Laura? Are you out with your horses? Okay. No, your thumb's catching
Oh.
your computer. That's hilarious. I think that's funny. Okay. Um, so I want to share a little bit about La Loba and about why we created it, and then I'm going to open it up for questions because you know, one reason or another, you were interested by my post or my email and just wanted to learn more about it. So I'm sure that after we kind of share a little bit, then you might have some questions. So I'm going to look over here because I have some notes and sometimes I have to keep myself on track or I could just talk forever. So um, I want to say that I think La Loba was born out of some work that the three of us had done. So Marianne and I, and we have one more business partner. Her name's Tanya. We had been doing retreats and um, different workshops together. We'd all done our own personal healing, and part of it was that I was newer to the scene. The two of them had been around for a hot minute before me, and I started some therapy, and my therapist kind of introduced me to this retreat, and I went, and I was so excited to go. And I came home and I said to the women in my support group, I just went to this beautiful experience and it was for something that's very personal to me, and you don't have that same issue in your life, and so you won't be able to go to that retreat. Darn you. And I felt that immediately, like this, wow, there's a space here for work to be done for any woman. And that's kind of where this idea of La Loba started. So La Loba is a story. I should have grabbed my book. It's back there somewhere. It's a short story from a book that's called Women Who Run with Wolves. And the story of La Loba is this story about a woman who wanders the desert to find the pieces of herself that she lost. And I think that's so indicative of our lives as women. We go about um, serving and helping and building and growing people and ourselves, and we lose ourselves along the way for lots of different reasons. Maryann and I have been talking about that a lot lately, like our family of origin, the family we came from, sometimes the ways that we're trained in our childhood create different ways that we show up in our lives, things that happen to us, different experiences that we have, different our hopes and our dreams, all of that contributes to making us who we are. But and for some reason along the way, we get told as women that your needs aren't as important, or you need to put that aside now to for the betterment of the family, or whatever that looks like. And along the way, we have what we call traumatic events, and we don't. The whole weekend isn't about trauma, but trauma, I want you to know this. I had an interesting conversation with my mom just the other day. Trauma is the way that I interpret what happened to me. So, traumatic event is something that happens, like we'll say a car crash, right? If a car accident happens, that's a traumatic event. But the trauma of it can go on because it's this story that I made up about why that happened to me or what that means about me and the fear that I have going down the road from now on. And so all of those things end up in my trauma bucket, and it colors the way that I see. So now I'm going to be afraid when I drive next to a semi truck, or I'm going to be afraid when it's raining. And all of those things kind of play into. So trauma isn't what happened to you, but it's the stories and the meaning that you assign to what happened. And I think that that's an important distinction that we make. But so, um, so La Loba is this weekend. I like to call it liminal space. And I don't know if you know what that word means, but basically it means we set aside this time and this space to just work on us. We actually have a private chef that we bring in to take care of you, to cook all your meals, so you don't have to worry about that at all. And you have a place to sleep and this safe environment of women to be able to do some of your deeper healing because all of your basic needs are taken care of. And so we set aside this time and this energy to um, make it the most advantageous for you to get some of your work done. And I love to say, I hope this doesn't scare you, but I love to say that it's like getting 6 months of therapy in 3 days, because you don't have to worry about where you're going and who's there and what you're eating and all of the things. And we even tell you what time to get up in the morning, because you don't have to worry about any of that stuff. It's actually concentrated time to just look at you. And so some of you have been to retreats where you have like a speaker come and they tell a little thing and then you do something. Or we've been to retreats where it's just like downtime where you get to go on a hike and do yoga and paint your nails and have a nap, right? And this is a different kind of a thing. We almost kind of call it a program, where it's like we go through different processes. So we talk about emotional literacy and we learn what that feels like in our bodies, and we have all of these different processes to help you come to find yourself. And so one of my favorite processes is called sacred ground. And you learn what it feels like to stand on your sacred ground, what it feels like in your body, and what it feels like when you get off, and who helps you get off or pulls you off, and how to get back. And that's, I think, one of the game changers there is just, in fact, a woman from La Loba, like 2 or 3 ago, messaged one of the group chats the other day and said she'd had a really hard conversation and she just came back and she stood on her sacred ground and she got regrounded, and it just felt so amazing. And I just thought, these are tools that you learn. There's so many tools in the notebook that you go home with that you learn to help you, um, yeah, to face life when you get back home, because unfortunately we can't all go home with you. We have to come back to our houses, right? Maryann, is there anything else you want to add?
I love feeling that I have at the end of the retreat. I was just thinking about that the other day, that one thing that is kind of a gift of it, of the whole experience, is just the feeling of like I feel totally comfortable in my own skin. Like that feeling of being totally accepted as myself and really present. And so there's opportunities for moving and things on the weekend, a few movement based pieces. And it's interesting because I think it's just easy to be real self-conscious, especially around people you don't know, to and it's just amazing to me that every time by Sunday everybody's very open and very free, and because they feel really safe. Everybody feels really safe at that point to be seen by other people. So that's one of my favorite parts. Is it's a good thing for me that about every 6 months I get to go and be like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm okay being seen in the world and being fully accepted. And yeah, and I feel like that's a thing that most women want, to be able to feel a little bit more comfortable in our own skin, because we really get a lot of messages that are honestly, they're pretty crappy messages about the way we need to look and the way we need to act and the way that we need to show up, and that we're always kind of doing stuff for other people, whether it's kids or partner or whatever. We're always kind of torn. And so I love that this weekend is just for just you, to just put everything else aside and just get to worry about you. You get to be the priority for 3 days. You get to be the only thing that is important at that moment.
Mm-hmm. I love that. Thank you. Another line as you were talking, I was like, oh, remember that we say a lot, like take up space in your own life, and we give you permission to do that. And I think that's huge because I agree with Marianne. So many messages we get are, you don't have space here for you. So, yeah.
And so much of it's stuff that we don't even realize that we've learned, because it's just subconscious things. Like we send each other reels a lot of the time, Instagram reels, and I sent her one that I thought was pretty funny the other day, and it was like a Tab cola commercial from the 1980s. So,
Oh
like,
my gosh.
1980s commercials are kind of like hilarious in the first place, but it was just amazing to me. It was all about how women need to be thin to be important to the man that's in her life. It was just like, I grew up watching this. This is why I've always wanted to be, like I was like that. And we get so many messages like that all the time. They were like, oh, I'm not good enough if I'm that. And I think this is a chance to just sort of go like, all that stuff that's not real. This is the time to go like, who am I really? And what are the pieces of myself that I got told were not good enough and not important,
Mm-hmm.
to
Yeah.
kind of reclaim them, like symbolically reclaim them.
Mm. Um, So I wonder if you would rather I went into some logistics about the retreat, or if you have any questions you want to ask right now about it. It's different than the retreat you and I did, just so you know. It's better. It's deeper. Let's put it that way. Okay, yeah.
Um, it's really a temptation for me because, yeah, the retreat that I went with you was like, I feel the transformation in my life, and like, yeah, was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, well, my question, I know that is in USA, so the thing, because you know that I arrived with Julio, and then
Mm-hmm.
we fly over there. So
Mm.
for me, how going to be?
So we've had lots of ladies come from Canada.
Uh-huh.
So, you could, well, it depends. Like you can fly into Salt Lake and then what we usually do is arrange with all the women that are coming to kind of like carpool together. So like someone rents a car and then everyone helps them pay for it and then you drive. It's about an hour and a half from the airport to where we have the retreat. And we do that on purpose because I want to, it's part of that ceremony of going into the wilderness. Like we go up the canyons, like into the mountains, and it's part of the journey of that. So like I say, I've had lots of ladies come from Canada. So you just need to get yourself to the Salt Lake airport um and then we go from there.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in close to the moment you're going to give me the contacts and or you give me the details or everything.
So when after you sign up, then we'll add you to the WhatsApp group and then people start talking about it when it gets a little closer. Maybe like in August, people will start saying, okay, we need to rent a car and we need to do this and this. But once you get to the house, to the site, it's all included. So as long as you get yourself there, then everything is included. And like the house, like you stay with us in the house. And the other thing is, because it starts early on a Friday morning, we tell you that you can come on Thursday night and stay. So you can stay Thursday night until Sunday. We have to check out Sunday afternoon.
So so I can arrive Thursday night in the place
Uh-huh.
and it's
Yes.
the same.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Yeah. Because we're already there, staff prep. So we tell you to come a little bit later so we have time to get the things ready. But yeah, you can stay the night Thursday night and then we start Friday morning. And I kind of prefer that because then you have rest and you're ready to go on Friday morning. So Friday
Okay.
morning we start and then we go clear till Sunday night, 5 o'clock, and then at the end, usually what ladies do is they either rent a hotel room near the airport or something like that so that you can drive down and be closer to the airport and then just have a good rest and leave in the morning. There aren't very many flights that leave Sunday night,
Oh, okay.
you know? I
Yeah.
mean, people have found them before, but you would have to look for a flight that left after like 7:30 or 8 o'clock, I think. So if you can find something like that, then you could.
You mean to come back?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And all of those details come like in an email after you register.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So you
Hmm.
yeah. So you need to give me the details.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, so that's a good question. We start Friday morning, um, and then uh we just go straight through until Sunday afternoon. So Friday morning we tell you it begins about 10 o'clock in the morning. I think we tell you to be there at 9, between 9 and 9:45. And then so anybody who stays the night, we actually ask you to leave and go out for breakfast and come back so that you're like entering the space, and because there's a ceremony when we start. And so um yeah,
Okay.
but like I say, all of that's in the email. But it is residential, and so the price of the retreat includes the staying, the all the meals, the notebook that is amazing, and let's see if I could reach one. I can't. Um, and all of the other things that we give you during the things that go along with the processes.
Mhm.
So yeah. And then we have a WhatsApp group that you'll join when you register, and then you'll have it for after too. So afterwards, when you want to share wins and things that you learned and want us to celebrate with you, you just hop on there. I'm always surprised when an older group starts talking to each other again. It always makes me really happy because we create this sacred community of women and who experienced exactly what you did, and or close to it, at the same time. And so it always feels yummy. Yeah. What other questions do you
Great.
have?
Um, no, really was that one that I was
Okay.
like thinking about.
Okay.
Yeah, because with Julio he say no, yeah, you don't worry about it.
And he got you there. I know. He took care of you. That was nice of him. I will to some extent. But what I'm gonna do is teach you how to take care of yourself so that you don't have to rely on me,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Only yeah,
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I'm going.
Yes. I'm so excited. And you're gonna bring all your friends with you.
Yeah, I hope.
That would be awesome. I would love it.
Yeah,
Um,
I hope.
because so many of those ladies that I met could really come too. Yeah, that would be amazing. Step two in your healing progress. Um, are there any other questions, Marianne? Do you have any other questions that you want to type in or something while you think about it is, I just wanted you to know that this isn't a conference where there's like 300 women in the room. This is like the max, the cap of how many women we let come at a time is 18. And so it is a very small, intimate group. And for most of the really, really deep work, we actually split into three small groups. And so, like, six is the most that you would have, six women participants is the most that you would have in your little group. So that's where you would do the deeper, um, I want to say gut wrenching, like soul finding work is in those smaller groups. And so you really build a connection and a bond with that small group for sure. And Marianne and I lead some of those small groups. So yeah. Is there anything else you can think of, Mare?
I am putting
Oh,
on the date
dates.
there,
Perfect.
and it's 775, right? That's
Mm-hmm.
our.
It is 775, but I'm gonna give you a discount code. I'm gonna email it to you, a coupon code. Um, for $75 off if you use it in the next couple of weeks. So, but it is October 24th is the Friday. So if you need to come on the 23rd to get there in time, then you can do that October. So that near the end of October. And it's the most beautiful time in Utah because of all the
Yes,
leaves
and
and
it's my
the,
birthday.
oh, it is? Oh, wow. What a happy birthday.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
Yeah, yeah. And we've had snow there in October before, which is beautiful and magical. So, um, yeah. Um, thank you for putting those there.
Yeah.
Can you think of anything else? I was going to say there's small group work, there's large group work, there's meditations and journaling, there's movement, there's emotional healing, there's time for breaks and talking. There's plenty of snacks and food and even chocolate chip cookies. There's
Um,
that
I
are
can already do a lot of
amazing. At
that.
the moment when she brings those out, it's like, woo! It's amazing. So,
And we also have the option that if you are wanting a private room, we
yeah,
sell those like there you can pay for extra for a private room, and
that's
otherwise
true.
shared occupancy. So
Thank you. And those rooms are fun. And
there's a hot tub.
there's a payment plan too on the link. So we can put the link on now, but if you want to sign up, um, I'm going to put the link on so you can see it, but then wait for me to send you the link because it'll have the discount code. How's that? That way you can,
Get the discount.
yeah, save a few dollars. So here's the link for it. I could actually create it while if Marianne wants to talk for a minute, I could hurry and create the code and then I could just give it to you right there.
I think one of the things that I benefit from every time going is just I feel like we have a hard time kind of being present in our life. I mean, maybe this is just me, but I have a job where I'm a teacher. And so there's a lot of people that I'm in charge of. And I think it's easy to just get into the mode of like taking care of everybody else. And so it takes me a little bit of time once I'm at a retreat to be like, okay, I don't need to worry about everybody else and like shift over into let this just be about me. So that's one of the things I love. I feel like Friday is kind of the day on the retreat where everyone's settling in to being away, being away. And then by Friday night, everybody's there. They're like they're really present in the moment, not just physically there, but they're mentally there and emotionally there, and they're able to really focus. And then by Saturday morning, we start each day with a little bit of movement. I lead some movement pieces in the morning, and just stretching and it's not nothing intense, but it is an opportunity to just really get into our bodies. Because sometimes at retreats, I think sometimes there a lot of sitting and getting information. And one thing we try to do, because this is good teaching, it's just a good teaching practice, that when you present a new idea to people, you need to give them processing time, and then you need to give them a chance to do something with the information. So it's an important piece. And so we've gone through all of our processes and all the things that we teach. And we said, okay, what is the goal of this? What are we doing with it? And how are we going to give people the opportunity to do something with the information, to use it in the moment, because that's what transfers it to your long-term memory. If it's just listen to it, we've all done this where we've gone somewhere and just listened, and we're like, that was great. That was great. But then there's no actual application. You walk away from it and then you don't use it again. It's just something that was enriching and you might remember it, but if you do something with it, and especially if you do something that includes physical movement, you are much more likely to remember it, So that's something that we have made sure that within our the weekend, there's lots of different ways that you get, whether it's by speaking, by moving, by writing, by doing art. We have a bunch of different options. And then also just taking plenty of time to get nourishing food, because something we tell people to do. Like we've had people try to help pick up their dishes before and go help in the kitchen. We've been like, no, 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 no. You're not cleaning this weekend. You're not taking care of anybody. The only person you're in charge of is you, and we are going to take care of all of those logistics and things. So we don't let people help in the kitchen.
Yeah. So I found my book. I love this journal because it's like full of stuff that when you go home, you can like reference back to, or, oftentimes I'll have clients say, what about this? Or I'm feeling this. And I'll be like, oh, pull out your journal and read this page, or go look at this part and what you wrote and how you felt about this. And so I really feel like that's an invaluable tool that you get to go home with. So you take part of it home with you. Yeah. Okay, so in the comments or in the chat, I put the link. If you click on that link, it has like if you scroll all the way to the bottom, it's already the discount is already taken off. But if you want to just click one of the other buttons around, then you can just put in that it's VOH La Loba 75. So you'll have to just copy that. But like I said, I will email it to you. So you don't need to worry about it right now unless you're so curious you can't stop. Um, is there any other, let me just look on my thing really fast and see if there's any, thing else I think we need to cover. I think that is pretty good. I know, like Marianne said, it's too much information is not a good thing. So one thing that I want you to know is my whole goal is to create a safe, stable environment where you can do your work and be seen and heard. And there's nothing that feels quite like that. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Last chance for questions. Not really last chance. You can always send me a message, right? Okay. Then if there's no more questions, like I said, feel free to ask any, you can send me a message on WhatsApp or an email or whatever. You can reply back to one that I will send. And we're going to check out. So we're going to check out with 2 feeling words. And what is a sound that feels like you today? So I'm going to say I feel connected and anticipatory. I love it when we start talking about the retreat again because I just love it. And a sound that feels like me today is probably wind chimes because they're kind of all over the place. Lots of things, making harmony, just hitting at random. That kind of feels like what my day was. So with that, I'm out. Maryann.
I feel grateful and contemplative. And I was thinking we had to make the sound, so I
Oh,
was papering like my choices to be like,
you
what
can
a
do that
sound
if you
I
want.
really can make. I'll say that my sound is like a ah,
Hmm.
that nobody else has to make the sound. You can just describe the sound, and I'm out.
Thank you. Yeah, I love that. Thank you. Isela, how about you?
Mm, I I want to be honest with you. In the beginning, really, I connect because of my friend, because she's also my client.
Mm,
Um, and I see she needed this.
mm.
But after I listened to you, I say I needed to.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I was thinking about it, but I said like no, maybe no. Like I still keep in my spirit the retreat of the last time, but it's something like was magical. And when you told me that it's different, and I think like going to be amazing. No, it's like a one better than the other. It's not that one.
No.
It's
Mm-mm.
only like always we need it because there are many challenges.
Yes. Yes. What's your sound?
Mm. Hope
Mm. Okay.
bigger.
I love it. Thank you for sharing and for letting us see you. It's good.
Yeah.
Okay. Marianne says she's putting the kids to bed, so she's
Yes.
out. Yeah. Okay. So I'll send this email right now so that you have the code and you can share it with the discount code is good for 2 weeks. So it's good until the 14th of July.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
So with the code is 700, but it's USA, right?
700 US. Yeah.
You're
I
gonna
know.
say
I
Canadian.
know. I don't know. Do you want me to do the math?
I know.
I
Oh,
don't know. Let's look. I'll
yeah.
do the math fast for you.
I have a
I
crazy.
won't. I'll make my phone do the math. Um, there. Oh no. Last time I did math, it was Turkish. 952.
Goodness, okay.
Yeah. There is a payment plan. And if you need different, if you need to break it up differently, let me know because I can do that.
Okay.
If you
I,
need a
I,
smaller.
okay. I think so, yes.
Okay. Yeah, just
Yeah.
send me a message because we can break it up. Because right now it's broken up into 280, which is what?
So how can I talk to you by WhatsApp?
Yeah, yeah.
Can
Yeah,
we
send me
talk?
a, uh-huh.
Can we talk after?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. You just call me on WhatsApp. How about that?
Okay, yes, I will.
Okay, awesome. All righty. Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.